Ladies and gentlemen, guess what time it is? Synthetic division time. How I'd like to teach you synthetic division is through the following example of x cubed minus 21x squared plus 147x minus 343 divided by x minus 7. So the first step is what you want to have, you have to detect a pattern. Your polynomial function, whatever this is called your dividend because it lies to the left of that division symbol. Whatever it is, you need to have it in decreasing x order. In other words, you need to have an x cubed term, an x squared term, an x term, and then no x term. All right, if you have that, if you have met that criteria, then you're going to go right straight away to creating your synthetic division table and plugging in your coefficients. If, let's say, one of those terms was missing, in other words, you had x cubed minus 21x squared minus 343, then what you'd have to do is you'd have to add back in this x term. But you can't just choose any random number, right? Because you have to make sure that it works out. In other words, you're going to plug in a 0x. Because what's 0 times x? Well, obviously that's 0. And adding 0 to something doesn't do anything to it. And therefore, your polynomial could be considered x cubed minus 21x squared plus 0x minus 343. And now you know the coefficient of your x term, okay? But since we don't have that problem here, we can just go straight away to plugging in your coefficients. Include the signs as well. So the coefficient here is going to be a positive 1, so that gets plugged in, negative 21, positive 147, and then negative 343. Great, negative 343. All right, so then what you're going to do is focus on your divisor. Take your divisor, whatever it is, and by the way, it has to be a linear function. So you can't have x squared here. It's not going to work out, all right? We'd need to follow a different technique. Now you might say, well, what am I going to do if I see that? Well, it's a totally different technique. Most likely you're not going to see it because they know, they know that you won't know how to solve that. Okay, there's another set of rules to follow. So that being the case, you're probably not going to see it. I'll put out videos though for that, but I can't cover that in this video. But what you might see is you might begin to see values preceding the x. Instead of a 1, it could be a 2, it could be a 7, it could be whatever. And I'm going to show you what to do in that particular case if that happens. But no matter what, if this is a 7 in front or a 1 in front, you're still going to do this procedure. You're going to take this, set it equal to 0, solve it for x. So add 7 on both sides. And then x is going to equal positive 7. And what that value will tell you the value that goes in here. So that's a 7. Now that you have your entire row figured on out, you can begin now the procedure of your synthetic division. So first take your first coefficient, drop it all the way down. It's just a 1. That's why there's a red box here. You're not going to plug anything in there. You're just going to drop down that coefficient. Now you're going to follow a simple set of rules. Take this value, multiply it by the outside value. 7 times 1 is going to be a 7. And all you're going to do then is add it to then the negative 21 above. You're going to add this column up. So negative 21 plus 7 should be now a negative 14. Okay? Then what you're going to do from there is you're going to take your negative 14 and you're going to multiply it by 7. So take out your calculator if you need. I'm just going to use that to make it go faster. So this is going to be now a negative 98. Okay, negative 98. When you add these two together, you're going to take your 147 and add to it the positive 98. And you're going to get a positive 49. Then you're going to take this value and multiply it by this value, right? And when you take 49 and then you multiply it by 7, you're going to come up with a value of 343. And oh, maybe that's why they gave it to you, right? Because when you add these terms now, it becomes a 0. So after you perform this procedure, okay, keep in mind that what these coefficients will now represent. This will represent your remainder. This is your constant term. This is your x term. This is your x squared term. And ... the pattern would continue. You would have x cubed, and you certainly detect the pattern at that point, okay? Your remainder term is always going to be the first one. Now, what you have to do before you start writing out your quotient is you got to go back to your divisor, and you have to look at the coefficient of your x term. Whatever that is, in this case it's a 1, you're going to divide, you would divide now each of the terms except for the remainder by 1. Now, obviously dividing something by 1 doesn't do anything to it, right? So that's why sometimes this step is kind of just skipped. But I need you to think about it, and I need you to know about it, because now you're not going to be lost if this thing is a 2, or a 10, or a 14,976,000. You're just going to take whatever that value was and divide it into each of these coefficients. And then those would represent now your coefficients, the correct coefficients. All right. So anyway, going back, this is just constant, that's x, and this is x squared. Now you can start to write out your quotient function. So you have 1x squared, which is just simply x squared. I'll write it on the left-hand side over here. Then you're going to have minus 14x plus 49, because that's a constant. There is no x. And then plus now your remainder. Now, when you do your remainder, you take this value, whatever it is. If it was minus, then this would have been a subtraction sign. But you're going to take it. There's no sign there, so it's assumed to be positive. So it's going to be plus your remainder value, 0, and put that over whatever your divisor is. So x minus 7. Now, obviously, 0 divided by x minus 7, anything, whenever you have 0 in the numerator, the whole thing is 0, so you don't even have to write it. But now, again, you're not lost in case the problem changes on you, right? That's what we try to think about when we're teaching you these procedures. We teach you a method to use. It might be slightly longer, but guess what? You're not going to be lost if it changes, okay? And the reason why we do that is because we're always concerned and trying to give you the best advice we possibly can to help you do well on your exams, all right? We want to help you get to where you want to go. And sometimes school kind of gets, in the way, right? School is very useful too, but you have to do well in order to get into that, let's say, medical school you want to go to or whatever the case is. All right. So we try and focus on specific problems to help you through. By the way, we have thousands out there, not only in math, but physics and chemistry as well. I think you'll find it very useful. Check our channel out. We'll see you soon.